Phone's a little slow. Really slow. Hmm. Hold on 1 second. Hi, I'm back. Now we're connected. Come on. Trying to get my chat going so I can monitor it. Okay. There we go. Make sure I got sound. Do I have sound? Doesn't sound like I got real good sound, does it? But hey, I got it. It's all that really matters, huh? There we go. This way I ain't got to strain my eyes to see the chat. Turn that down so I don't get reverb and I don't confuse myself. Honestly, I got a I got a lot to do. We're trying to figure the trim out on this thing. I got to come up with a to-do list to get this thing ready to fire, and then all that other happy stuff. You know what I mean? So what's everyone up to tonight? This car will be going to SEMA. So what we're gonna do here shortly, not tonight, depending on what time we got. I might actually do a breakdown of what it costs to build a car that that's going to this show. I think it'd be a good thing to do. I think maybe some people get enjoyment out of it. Let me know what you think. Uh, do need to get my board down. Kind of go over what we got going on. And it does erase. Waiting on my buddy Chuck to show up so we can get some wiring going on. Be nice. Be nice to do. Kind of hate doing this stuff during my buddies' lives, but at one point you got to get yours in too, right? Let's stay up there. Can you see it? I guess you can see it. Is that a little turn? Get my little list we got going on, and if you guys can think of something that I may have to throw down that I'm not thinking of, shout it out. Um, you never know. You could be thinking of something because we're on that last 90, that last 10% that you take, 90% of the time. Trying to get this thing together is, I really want to get it fired up. I want to hear that engine through this intake setup because this thing is just gonna sound mean. That's what we got going on engine wise. She awfully purty. But we're close. We're close on firing up. Fuel lines, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. All that fun stuff. Still need to finish the exhaust system up. Right now, she just headers. Got the drive system on. I do got to prime it. Do have to get oil in the radiator. Still got to check all the suspension stuff. Obviously, I think we're missing a part or two on the inside. I'm not 100% sure, but something tells me something's supposed to go there. I'm not quite sure what it is yet, but I think something's supposed to go there. It took a long time to get the glasses clean. All the glass, as a matter of fact, You don't get glass any cleaner than that, guys. Take a lot of rubbing to get it that clean. You know what I mean? Ah. All right, good. So, we got to make that to-do list. What's up, Gary? How you doing today? Trying to get a to-do list done so I can finally get this car fired up. That's our plan. I'd like to have it running here in the next couple of weeks. We got a lot of wiring to do. Just a lot of stuff in general. So we're going to start breaking it down. And I'm trying to do this to where I can monitor a chat and do this at the same time. You know? So, anywho's hows and ways. Let's start off. I'd like to say I'd have it running in 2 weeks, but I can honestly tell you that would be a very, very tall order. Maybe I should grab the bigger board and put it on the bigger board, you know what I mean? Oh, this one's even got magnets on it. Wanted to get a chalkboard. Kind of go old school on it. You know what I mean? I know. The thing is, guys, These lights, man, they do no justice for this color. It's got so much pearl in it. She's got a different tone inside the show hall. She got a different tone inside or sitting outside in the sun. All kinds of fun stuff. I'm gonna have to find a way to keep that from falling over. Um, Anybody new coming in, if they want a tour of it or see what's going on, shout it out. I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll walk around it. For the guys that have been following since the beginning over at the other channel, you know what's going on. Trying to think if I got something I can set this phone on to where I can monitor it. Or at least set it to where it won't fall down and I ain't got to keep grabbing it. And I do have something. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set the self-tracking one up that doesn't self-track all that well. Never had any luck with this Ashwan stuff or whatever they call it. It's absolute garbage. Well, it makes a handy dandy little phone stand. David, how you doing today? Thanks for stopping in and joining. I appreciate that. Daryl, what's going on? So, Metal Art Customs just came in the channel. Guys, if you want to see the bodywork being done on this car, the paint and all that stuff, that's the guy that did it. The fabrication levels he went to, just out of this world. Especially some of the damages and stuff like that was done to this car, the amount of rust, stuff like that. Um, the hood, it's got the hood scoops on it. So what he did was he cut the center of the hood out and put 66 Chevelle hood scoops in it. And then he had to cut the roof from essentially like 8 inches in and remove a portion of the A pillar, the B pillar, and the C pillar. Had to section the whole roof out. Being able to do that the way he did it and not see any lines, and especially on that flat hood, that's just something unbelievable. Well, welcome from Alberta. That is Dodge Viper Blue, and the guy, like I said, the guy with Metal Art Customs, he just popped in. He's the one that did the paint. He's the one that did the body work, fabrication work. I pretty much handled. I pretty much handled all the mechanicals on it. I had to put floors in it. I did that. Couple little patch panels on the side because, they all need it, but the fact that my skill level wasn't, really up to par, Daryl had to redo a couple of the patches, which cool, I'm good. The chassis I did, the frame on this car was completely rotted out. So we put air ride suspension all the way around on it. It's got C5 Corvette brakes on all 4 corners. It's actually got C5 Z06 brakes, which are the big 14-inch brakes, and I think 12-inch brakes in the rear. And then LS swapped the engine. ITB individual throttle bodies. So it's got 8 individual throttle bodies on it. That's what we did for the engine. Uh, Steering upgrades. We switched it from manual steering to a power steering, dropped it from 22 to 1 ratio to 12.7. Global West bump steer. It's got vintage air conditioning and heating in it. Um, Custom fuel tank made by Tanks. I mean, it's got everything, guys. The and Intellitronics, they did the gauges in it. I can plug them in, but I got one of their older models in it. They're actually supposed to be designing a full uh, digital analog sweep gauge style setup. Uh, Daryl, thanks for stopping in, man. So yeah, I mean, I can really kind of nerd out on the stuff that we did to this car. Um, it's been an absolute labor of love, but we did get invited to SEMA, so we are going to be going to SEMA this year. Uh, Here's the motor we did. So that's a 5.3 Chevy Vortec LS variant. Speedmaster ITB injection. Uh, Texas Speed Cam, CVF Racing, Raptor system for the accessory drives, speed engineering for the headers, stainless steel lines, and then a whole bunch of goodies that you can't see because the car is sitting on top of it. Still got to do dry shaft, still got to do exhaust. There's a company out of North Carolina that makes a really good sounding muffler called Carnage. I'm thinking about going with them. Thank you. It's my dream car, guys. So we named the car Pandora because as soon as I started on it, when it got here, every time we picked up a grinder, every time we went to clean something, we found more rust. This car had no rights being restored. It was, especially when I found out that the roof was junk and I had to drive halfway across the United States to get a roof for it. Most people would have junked it, but I chased this car for 13 years. So we named the car Pandora after Pandora's box because that's literally what we opened. This car has fought tooth and nail all the way. But it's been fun, man. No, car is a 63 Chevy Biscayne. Yeah, it's Gary. I don't know if Gary's been following the car for a long time. I don't think he's ever heard the full story of what really went on with this car. Um, my cousin had one for sale when I was 15 years old, and I couldn't buy it. And I've been obsessed with it ever since. And I finally got it. Yeah, it's an older VW Golf, just, a lot bigger. So, but in a nutshell, that's kind of the story of the car. Now, now we have to get it ready for SEMA. So that's our next process. Um, and it's kind of what I'm doing today is I got to get a list together of everything that has to be done. Car's missing interior. That is getting built. as we speak. Uh, there's a guy up here in Northeast Ohio that is doing the seats, Ciadellas out of Tempe, Arizona. They're doing the door panels and some other things. Um, yeah, a lot of, a lot of people, a lot of places. Just it's taken a lot of planning, and that's the one thing I can't stress enough is if you're going to take on a project, let's say any project, even a house project, but especially a car, to do things on a budget, do as much as you can on your own. So, Markin, you from you from like Germany or something? Chief, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. So, if you're gonna build these things on a budget, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, it is not hard to put a stupid amount of money in a car, especially today's prices with today's paint, the cost of materials. There's the right way to buy parts. You could, anything can be ordered online, but how do you find the stuff cheap? I'll go over that in the video here that I'm actually in the middle of making right now. But, we kind of figured we'd stop. Um, I figured I'd kind of stop and do this. I figured it was from Germany. I kind of figured that. Well, welcome from Germany. Wish I had a map on the wall like the Randys do. Cool. Uh, but as I was saying, you can buy stuff on Marketplace. So Summit Racing. If you plan your builds out, you can you can kind of know what stuff you need. And a lot of people will buy the stuff when they need it. But the trick is to buy the stuff that you need when you see that killer deal on it. Like the intake on this car, it's $2,700 for the intake that's on this car. I found it for $700, but I knew that's what I wanted. That's what I ended up getting. Now, what did I mess up on? I had two different style of intakes on it because that was the initial plan. As soon as I realized I was changing my mind more and more, I stopped. Um, I sat down and I just started writing down, what do I want? What can I sacrifice on? What can I compromise? And what is an absolute must? And the absolute must I bought when I found the deals. And if I couldn't find the deal, because I am doing the YouTube stuff, um, I was able to talk to some of the companies that I have on the wall here. And I didn't ask for products. None of these companies, I'll tell you right now, none of these guys gave me anything. Um, I got discounts, yes. Were they heavy discounts? No, not really. Um, but I did pay up. But my theory is if you're saving $10, you save $10, right? No. So the only thing Edelbrock on this car would be TCI. Edelbrock now owns TCI, and they're the ones controlling the transmission. It's the only thing Edelbrock. Um, it's a mix between a bunch of different companies. Uh, Sure, a lot of them fall under the Holly umbrella because, well, Holly just owns everything anymore. Um, yeah, I think that's the only thing that's on here is the transmission computers. The only Edelbrock on here. They were going to do the control systems for the engine, but after doing a little bit of research, I found that the Holly was a little more user friendly, so we ended up going with the Terminator X. Um, but and that's another thing, and I don't care. I don't. So when I was talking to Holly, I tried to talk to Holly about, hey, can you help me out with a discount on the Terminator X? And they initially were going to. They're like, yeah, we kind of like the product. You kind of like what you're doing. The purpose of the channel really was to follow the build from when it left Metal Art Customs to the finish. But you guys can see, you know, I'm missing limbs. So I'm like, you know what? I might as well, and I enjoy motivating people. So I figured if I can motivate somebody that's disabled or handicapped to get out in the garage and get back working and don't let the disability kind of define them and everything else, I'm doing my job. So it's more about motivating people now. Um, so they kind of liked what I was doing, but then they seen that I was using this company and that company, and I wasn't doing it like, oh, everything's got to be Holly. Well, the way I've always built things, I've never used one company to supply everything for the car. It's whatever I can get. You know what I mean? So I've had the car. I started building the car in 2021. Um, 2021 is when I started building the car. In 2023, September of 2023 is when I sent it down to Metal Art Customs for him to do the metal fabrication and the paint job. Uh, and it came back to me. He actually finished that up. The guy works quick. He finished that up in May of 24. Sorry, no. It went to him in September of 24. It came back to me in September of 25. He had pretty much finished the paint job and was just wrapping up a few things in right around June, because June 19th was the first time we actually showed it anywhere. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, Lotus, May of 25, right. That's when we had that big show up there at his thing. Yeah, well, see, that's what I was getting with Holly. So they didn't really want to work with me on anything because I wasn't Holly all the way. Yeah, I wasn't using Holly's rims. I wasn't using Holly's headers or any of their umbrella or any companies that were under their umbrella. I wasn't using their stuff because I was, I think Holly might own Crane right now. I'm not 100% sure, but the camshafts from Texas Speed. The brackets were initially ICT. Changed the ICT stuff over to CVF. Um, I wasn't using all one company or anything under their umbrella. They didn't like that. That's fine. It's your stuff. It's your choice. You don't have to help me. I'm not going to force you. I mean, I'm not going to talk horrible about the company, but I do think that they've lost a little bit of touch with who their buyers are. It seems like all they want to do anymore is, really cater to the race crowd. But, the average guy or girl or whatever, You know, when they build a car in their garage, they're going to use swap meet parts. They're going to use I mean, not a lot of people use brand new stuff. No, they didn't drop me because I was never part of them. Uh, Holly never did sponsor me. We were just in talks. So they never dropped me. They just said that, we wish you luck on your build, and they just they just had an issue because I wasn't using all of their products. That was their only issue. But like I said, how many people actually build a car anymore and use all one product, all one company? Not a lot of companies. You know what I mean? Yeah, whatever you can afford. Exactly. Whatever you can afford is what you use. Um, if you can afford to use camshaft, that's what you buy, a used camshaft. Um, when I was younger building them, I needed an intake. Whatever the first one was I stumbled across at the swap meet was what I bought. You know? Mark, thanks for stopping by, man. Um, Thanks, Germany. That's cool. Thanks for stopping in. Actually, if you're still on here, I actually, a couple of guys I talked to, they're from out that way. I want to say one of the Middle Eastern European blocks of countries. They're from. I can't remember exactly. Um, yeah, I didn't know YouTube sponsored anybody, but they've been kind of funny. Like I said, but the guys that have, I will tell you, the guys that are part of this build, Intellitronics, they're doing the gauges. Vintage Air, they did the AC. Ron Francis did the wiring. Tanks did the fuel tank, the fuel pump, sending units. Borgeson helped me out a little bit with the steering, which any help is great. New Relics, they're doing the power windows in this car. And what I did in exchange for the discounts I got from them is I did install videos. I'm working on editing the install video for the Vintage Air. My problem with the Vintage Air videos that I've been seeing online, especially for this style car, nobody did anything really comprehensive. It was you'll be watching it, and all of a sudden they're done. So I did it two different ways. If you want to see how the air it's installed in this, there's 3 4 hour videos of me working on this car. No one's going to sit and watch a 4 hour video. It's hard to get people to watch over 30 minutes. Heck, over 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, part one. It's going to show 3 or 4 hours of the work, but you'll also have part one in another video that's got a lot of the stuff kind of filtered out of it, and it's just kind of hitting on the important parts and important and the aspects that I really want you to know about installing the system. Now, let's say you're installing that system and you can't figure out what's going on or how to get to it. Well, you can go back to that 4 hour video and see where I was at and what I did to overcome that same issue. I think it's a great way to do a video, to be honest with you. Um, but anyway, I don't know how long we're gonna run this tonight, but like I said, we're gonna have to start getting on the list here. You tripped the light. Let's see, 35 minutes in. I ain't doing too bad. All right, so let's get to it. Kind of got a list going here. We're going to do it on two different boards. We can kind of break things down. I can get it on this. I can wipe this one off, start a new one. Kind of that way I'm not brainstorming on the official what we're going to kind of hang up and go off of, you know? So, uh, where to start the car on the list? Start the car on the list is, well, that's when I put down engine. That is what we're talking. We're going to be doing everything that needs to be done to the engine is basically whatever I need to do to start the car. Um, Wiring's supposed to get started tonight if I have time, depending on how long we do this. And if my buddy shows up, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not good with wiring at all. Um, my buddy's a genius at it, but me, not so much. I could do it. It's gonna take me twice as long. But I want him to concentrate on this, and then I can go and concentrate on the engine and getting that ready to fire up. That's what I want to do. Lotus, are you jumping in between Randy's channel and mine? So, left-handed. You know what, Andy? Why don't you take the stuff off the top of that toolbox, set set it on the mower deck, and then roll that toolbox over here so I can set that down. Oh, they're not on tonight. Or are they coming on later? What are they doing? What you got to get a hold of Mike for? Try to keep those screws and stuff together. Yeah. And if you have anything loose laying around, just put it in the just put it in that cap. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Uh, you know what I want to do is I want to figure a way out because I really like the Chevy MyLink that's in my truck. So what I want to do is I want to figure out is there a way I can make almost like a bench testing harness so I can pull what's needed out of a junkyard truck to put the Chevy MyLink with Apple CarPlay and everything else and put that in this car. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, why don't you just get like, a Kenwood system or something like that that already has Apple iPlay on it? Yeah, I get it. It'd be easier. But when you open the door to the truck, you got the Chevy symbol that flashes across and everything else. I think that's cool. Just like a cool little gimmicky type thing. You know what I mean? I think it'd be neat to do. Um, okay, so I do have his number. When I get done with this, I'll see if I can get a hold of it. I'll get a hold of him to see if I can give it to you first. Uh, but yeah, so my research today has been, does anybody make a standalone or a bench testing harness for a Chevy MyLink system because I'll need the HMI, the body control module, and then I gotta unlock it from the VIN lock so it'll communicate with anything. Right. So they're programming the ECU of the car for the VIN lock. So on these, you got the ECU. I believe that's just got the VIN lock, and then the body control module, and then the HMI or the human machine interface computer. All of that has got to go in along with any kind of preamps or anything else you have for the speakers. All that has got to get transferred in with it. Right, it'd be cheaper to buy a Kenwood, but you gotta admit it's kind of cool when you got the Chevy logo flashing across the screen and everything else. Can't really do that with the Kenwood that I know of. I'm not a big car stereo system guy, but I want that uniqueness. I want that, this guy did it differently. Um, yeah, I'm looking into an absolute nightmare of a project if I can somehow figure it out. Put this in that cup. That's certain. Oh, okay. So I didn't know that. See, I'm not really into car stereos, so I don't really know what you can and can't do with the new stuff out there. You gotta remember the last time I really installed a car stereo system. That was probably 15 years ago. Lots changed in 15 years as far as car stereos go. You know, and you have the Kenwood in yours, so that's what you got as a Kenwood in your Genesis. Yeah, more under the hood guy, right? Yeah, throw me a wrench. Let me get my hands greasy. I'm cool. Give me a pair of wire strippers and some terminal ends. Yeah, we got problems. Things are gonna get messed up. More likely cross-wired, possibly caught on fire. You know, me and electrical systems, smoke shows, they go together. What's up, Jane? Okay, well, see, that's kind of what I've been wanting to do. So that's really, I guess that's my answer then. I'm gonna go with Kenwood. You know what I mean? So how's Miss Jane doing tonight? Well, they just got home in the van. Okay, things to do. We're converting your B&B in the back of my trunk, Jane. So the Pioneers are a lot better. There used to be a company out there called Clarion. I don't even know if they're still around. Um, I know like the really good radios were like the Blah Punks. They were really good. The Clarions were really good. And then, of course, Pioneer and Alpine and something like that. Um, yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool. You know what I mean? Wow. Got to watch my battery powers. Is Mike in here? Or are you just hoping he's kind of out there? Okay, so they're still around. So they're still probably some of the best ones, the Clarions, right? So I always ran Rockford Fosgates when it came to speakers. Um, Power Acoustics, I kind of started messing around with them for a little bit. Uh, some of their competition series stuff was just starting to come out the last time I was really kind of monkeying with it. Um, I think I wasn't. I was impressed by it. They didn't seem too bad. See, Lotus, you're gonna have to text me that stuff so I can get what you're saying. Okay, engine stuff. You guys can think of something that needs hooked up on an engine, mind you. Everything's pretty much on there. All right, engine. All right, to make it run, we're going to need TPS sensors hooked up. Uh, I'm going to coolant temp. Got to put the starter back in. That's kind of an important part. You got to hang around for that part, Jane. Can't. You got to hang. I can't review what we're doing that quick or you won't stay around. I mean, it's got to be getting, well, it's 6:30. It's got to be getting close to your bedtime, right? Starter got to go back in. I'm gonna have to prime the oil. Uh, I got to put the coolant steam vents. Those got to get plumbed in. So what I do on the LS swaps is I'll block off the rearmost portion. If I don't have room to run under the intake, like this one, I'll block off the center or the rear set and keep the front set. But let's say I'm running all four, no, or two, it doesn't really matter. What I end up doing is I will take the coolant vents, the steam port vents, and I'm into the back of the water hose that's dripping and going all the way across up to the radiator. You can dump them to the back feed side of, not the feed side. I dump them on the exit side of the of the water pump with a barb fitting. It's threaded into the back of the pump, and then it just recycles itself into the system, goes into the radiator, and it'll purge itself out. If it does have any air, it'll purge itself out. Gary, I am keeping the bench seat. Um, I can't really. I All right, so I'm not going 60-40. It is a 50-50 split back. Um, we are going to bolster the seat bottoms, heavily bolster the seat bottoms, and it's really going to look like a. When I get done with this, I'll post some pictures up on my community site. Um, just like I did with the merchandise shirts. But what I'll end up doing, so we're going bucket seats, sorry, bench seat in the front, bench seat in the rear. Everything's heavily bolstered, like a satin black with maybe satin black on the outside and saddle brown on the inside, saddle brown package tray, saddle brown carpet. Carpet's already in the car right now. I test fitted it yesterday just to make sure it fit. That way I could make sure that you got a return window, and I wanted to make sure the return window was where it needed to be. Uh, so yeah, that's what we ended up doing there. Uh, Power steering lines. Uh, got a torque the crank bolt. Um, no, I don't want no. I don't want that. But you know what? I do have an idea on, and I will actually send you some ideas because you can do some 3D printing. Yeah, I got something I definitely want. It's for the door panels. I want a custom logo made that I'm going to put on the door panels. You're going to like my idea. That's going to be kind of a secret of what we put in there because it's going to go on the sides of the door panel, and then the speaker grill in the back is going to get the same thing too. I think it's really going to look good. Uh, Valve cover gaskets. Repaint. Repaint the valve covers. IAX system. Map system. Yeah. ECU. That's an important one. ECU wiring. Yeah. So, well, everything melts, but so we got like the carbon fiber infused stuff. I forget what kind of filament they call that. I was doing a lot of no, because that what do they? I can't remember what they call that kind of filament that they use on the 3D printers. Um, PLA plus. It's not PLA. What's the? They got some stuff out there that's got like a 600-degree melt temperature, and I can't remember what it is. Um, but it's gonna have to withstand at least a couple hundred degrees. You know what I mean? I still want one of the little birds. That much I can tell you. I still want a little bird. No, see, so the ABS, I was talking to All American or American Legends Hot Rods or something like that. They're out of Phoenix. They make egg crate style, like 68 Camaro style hood scoops for the 66 Chevelle. Out, well, they're making them out of billet now, but they were making them out of off of a 3D printer. And he said he got the best stuff that he can get his hands on, highest melt temperature, and they still worked. Um, I don't think it was ABS. Boy, I can't remember the name of it. Stuff was like $400, $500 for a reel or something like that. It was some god awful price. Okay, ECU wiring. Okay, hose clamps. Got to put the hose clamps on. O2 sensors. Uh, header extensions. Trying to think if there's anything else. Got coolant. Got. We got to put oil in it. Oil. Big letters. What if I got a red one? Should probably do the oil in red because it's that important. Erase you. Yes. Oil. Mine's we got to do differential fluids. Uh, Maybe I should use colors. Bring a little bit of color into my situation. I think that's what we'll do. We'll do the categories in blue. Uh, Fluid, cooler lines, what else do we need to do? Hey, antifreeze is only for storage in the wintertime. That's where he messed up. I feel bad for the guy in that one. Jeez. Kill all your engines and all your burnout cars at once. And you seen his stuff. That guy ain't running no cheap engines. You know what I mean? Definitely not running cheap engines. Uh, TCM, shifter, transcooler lines, and cooler. Drive shaft. The only thing I can think on the transmission. Yeah, I know. I mean, that was such a bad thing that he did. I really do feel bad for the guy. Let's go suspension. Let's go suspension. All right, check. All bolts. Check. All cotter pins. Let's go fluids, trans, and diff. Check all cotter pins. Grease. Run airlines. Set up compressors. Set up air tanks. Oh, got a call from the people that are doing the oh, what is it? The yeah. Make sure there's no dirt in the engine. Um, Jane, now that you said it, I'm gonna do it. I'll take the engine apart. I mean, can't stop it 14 times, right? I just like to make sure my work's good. That's the only reason why I pulled the intake. It's the only reason why the heads came off a couple of times. It's not because I did my math wrong and put too short of a head gasket on it and, you know, that kind of thing. The intake did not come off because I dropped stuff down or I plumbed it wrong or, I was doing it for practice. I wanted to make sure it was correct. Um, the difference between me and the average guy, and not, well, I wouldn't say the average guy. Let's go a lot of the LS guys, okay? Because they seem to do this a lot. I don't assemble motors, I build a motor. I will do all the math. I will figure my compression ratios out, static. I will figure out my cylinder quench, all that stuff. I don't just stab a camshaft in and not measure push rods. There's so many people out there that bend push rods, break um, break rocker arms, wipe camshafts out because they don't check nothing. They just camshaft, slide it in and bolt everything down because it says no springs required. Well, you got a motor with 200,000 miles on it. You've got everything that far apart. You might as well change the springs. While you're at it, how about them lifters that got 200,000 miles on it? I've always been told you change the camshaft, you change the lifters, period. Now, flat tappets, the old, you know, flat tappet hydraulics and stuff like that, yes, you had to change that stuff because everything was worn and work hardened together and yada, yada, yada. These motors, rollers, they don't really follow the same. You can swap the stuff out. They don't really work harden themselves like that. They don't like match wear themselves to each other. So you can reuse this stuff, but if you got it apart, you might as well fix it. If you got it apart, you might as well measure it. You know, these guys, they'll put the camshaft in, like I said, and they'll start bending things because they're using Chinese camshafts that, yeah, just because they say they have this duration and this lift, it doesn't mean they have it. Um, the springs, they use 600 of those springs. I guarantee you, if you actually did a test on them, you'd find out they're probably stock and they're binding and everything else. And then you got valve float, and they're not what you're supposed to be using. Um, is there anything to drink in there, Andy? Not what you're supposed to be using. Yeah, China, right? China stuff. And then the camshafts wipe themselves out. Um, what kind of quality do you think you're going to get for $150 for a complete camshaft kit that's supposed to be a sloppy stage 2? You come on. Um, if you're going to buy a camshaft, Elgin, Texas Speed, go to a reputable name company, not just some white box with no part number on it, no tech card or anything like that. I mean, it drives me nuts the way some of these guys are. Okay, I see it. You're trying to save money. Save money on the brackets. Those Chinese brackets, they're fine. I've used them before. They're perfectly fine. Those junk sheet metal intakes, I get it. You lose power on them. It's a given. You're going to lose probably 10, 15% power. And, because you look at the ports on them, let's say this is the bottom of your head. Well, the port, instead of coming down, bouncing in, the port is actually lower than the bottom of the head. So now it's got a wall that it hits. So, yeah, flow characteristics are horrible. But I will say, I've used those cheap Chinese intakes before. Not a big deal to me on those. You're going to lose power, so why spend big money on something that's going to lose power anyway? The only reason why you put them on there is so you're not running that ugly truck intake. You know what I mean? Yeah, horsepower equals money. It's always the biggest question people have always said to me when I had a shop. They're always like, I said, well, what do you want to build? And they'll tell me, and they says, well, how much does it cost for 600 horsepower? That's what it cost. How much does it cost to go fast? Add a couple more. you know, that was always a big thing. Was people, how fast do you want to go? And it was just dollar signs. That's all it was. And it's the truth. The stuff ain't cheap. And the stuff that is cheap, you know, you got people rebuilding their engines once a year. Well, I wonder why you're doing it once a year. Or how about the turbo guys? Those guys really crack me up. They'll go out, they'll buy a turbo kit for an engine, and they won't even gap the rings. Well, I wonder why you wore your cylinders flat out. You know what I mean? There's ways to save money. There really is. But on the internal of an engine, you don't skimp, man. You just don't do that. You get what you pay for. You know? How much does it cost? All of it. Show me your wallet. Just throw it on the desk. I mean, I didn't want to get started on with some of them guys. I mean, just. I've seen the Facebook pages are absolutely wonderful. You know, that low buck LS page or whatever that is. Um, that page is an absolute hilarious because these guys will sit there and I've seen guys talk about, you know, they got a groove in the crank that they can feel with their fingernail. I literally seen someone say, take a piece of emery cloth, knock the nick off of it. That's just oil retention. Stab it in and run it. Wow, really? I mean, I don't like building motors every year. Yeah, well, I mean, I like building motors all the time, but I don't like rebuilding my motor every year because I didn't gap the rings for a turbo. And all of a sudden, we got rings that are pushing together under pressure, expanding out, and just wearing, just gouging the cylinders. You know? um, yeah, they also didn't show brakes on Jesse's car either when he was racing the S2000. You know. Um, but going back to turbos, those sheet metal intakes are great for turbos. Horrible for gas motors. Um, there was somebody not too long ago asking, can I make TBSS2 or the TBSS intake fuel rails work on my regular truck intake? And they're like, why? Why not just put the Trailblazer Super Sport intake on it and be done with it? You know? Why, if you're taking it off and going through it, pull it off and put the go to the junkyard and grab one off of a truck. They're on it. It's plentiful. I can go down to the local pick and pull and get one of them for like $60. You know? And then try to tell somebody that they didn't put 823 heads on a 6 liter in the vans. They'll tell you that's not a 6 liter, that's a 6.2. No, it's not. It's a Gen 4 6 liter. 2019 vans, full of 823 heads. Best head you can buy, full of them. And then the guy, and you know, I will run an iron block all day long. You will not catch me building an aluminum block. People think I'm crazy when I think that way, but I'm sorry. I see more problems with people punching holes in the side of cylinders and everything else on aluminum blocks. Iron block's stronger. It's common sense. You'll never see me run a 6.2. I see more blowed up 6.2s, and I'm not talking about the new ones. I'm talking like, you know, like 2011, stuff like that. I see more blowed up 6.2s Or 6.2s, you got to pay $1,500 to $1,000 for a block, and you still got to send it out and have it re-sleeved or machined. And the price of 6 liters, I mean, just an iron block 6 liters climbed up. You can't touch a 6 liter, at least up here in Northeast Ohio, you can't touch a 6 liter for under $1,000. And that's a rebuildable core. Um, CTSV supercharger kit and some valve springs, injectors, $1,000, 700 horsepower setup. Right. Or you could take a 6 liter, pull the engine down, pop the pistons out, re-gap the rings, reuse the rings that were in it because I pulled many engines apart with 200,000 miles on them and seen cross hatchings in the cylinder still. But re-gap the rings, throw everything back down in there, put a turbo on it, you'd be 700 horsepower real quick. But the CTSV supercharger, that's an expensive supercharger anymore. There's enough people out there that have made adapter kits for that Cadillac ATS4 supercharger, whatever they call it. There's enough companies out there making that adapter kit now that, the prices of the Cadillac supercharger has actually gone up. You're not gonna touch a supercharger for an LS for under $3,000, and that's just for the lower half. I mean, the brick alone's worth 1,500. I mean, you're going to have $5,000-6,000 in a used supercharger setup that you still have to send out and have the rotors and everything checked on it. Um, you know, they got kits out there now where you can take the SVT superchargers and put them on. Um, the the Hemi superchargers. They even got the old Eaton 90s that you can pull off the old supercharged 3.8 Pontiacs and stuff like that. Those will put a 5.3 up over 600 horsepower in a heartbeat, and they're not that much. Well, even used superchargers are. Well, that's why I mean a used supercharger is Cadillac CTS is $2,800, $3,000 if you find one cheap. I had the opportunity to buy an LT4 supercharger because I wanted to put it on my truck. They wanted $2,800 for it, and that wasn't for sale but maybe an hour, and it was gone. I never really got into the import scene. Lotus almost did, but it was more of the Mazda that I was getting into. But you know, I mean, I kind of got into the whole BMW thing. Those were a lot of fun. Yeah, you used to be able to buy like new ones for like $2,000. Yeah, no, the Cadillac supercharger, ever since they started making the adapter kits for them, through the roof. They got adapter kits out now, and I forget the company that makes them, where you can put a 671 on an LS motor, and ain't nothing cooler than a big old supercharger sticking out of the hood of a car. You know what I mean? At least I personally think. I think it'd be cool to have that. Okay, so I had a 98 535, and then I had a 2000, I think it was a 2003 M3. And the M3 was an absolute, just a blast to drive. One of my favorite cars of all time. Um, what year was your 540? I gotta check something on this real quick. I mean, they really are. Um, but anyway, I mean, I don't know. It's getting kind of fun out. You know what I mean? Um, it'd be nice to, like I said, finally get the engine going. Yeah, so mine was the 535. Mine 98 was, yeah, it was a 98 535. It was a lot of fun. It really was. Um, we had straight piped it, lowered it, had 18-inch rims on it. We got like the BMW looking 18-inch rims. I mean, they were really, really cool. Really enjoyed them. Um, an absolute blast. So, you know, but I don't know. We'll see what's going on. Like I said, this is getting really close. And I was really thinking about doing. I don't know if you heard it earlier, Lotus, but I was thinking about doing a video on what it would cost to replicate this car. And yeah, you know what? When I was at your house, I thought I seen that. So, but I was thinking about doing a video on what it would cost to replicate this car as of right now. Um, what are you able to do as far as like what would it cost to do it on a budget, and what would the projected cost be if you were to have to pay somebody to do it? Stuff like that. Can you build a SEMA car on the cheap? Yeah, I think I seen it when I was down your way that one day. Um, yeah, but yeah, I definitely seen it. Have I really been on here for like 85 minutes? Wow. I wish I knew where Chuck was at. All right, set up air tank. I think that's all I got on suspension. Body. Unfortunately, we got body work to do again because I was a dummy and scratched the paint. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You know what I mean? So, body. Where's my blue one? Body. Body's going to include glass. Body's going to include window felts. Anything that is not mechanical to make the car run, that makes the car look good, interior, exterior, we're going to let that all fall under the body area. You know what I mean? Uh, so that's what we're going to do there. So, first thing, windows. And I started working on the trim, but I'm not exactly sure on how the so like the drip rail trim was easy to get off, not so easy to put back on, and I don't want to bend it, so might have to run over to my buddy's shop and grab some of the older stuff I have. That way I can, kind of get that done. So, body. Got windows. Got front, back, quarter glass, sides, doors, vent windows. Uh, the grill. That grill that I bought is absolute trash. That new grill, garbage. Fits like crap. Aftermarket stuff. I should have expected it. Um, oh, he's got one of them little key trucks. So, yeah. So, I gotta find my vent window stuff. So, we got, uh, what is that? Window motors. Install. We got power, window, wiring. Um, you know, all the fun stuff. So power window wiring. We're gonna have to do window felts, but I think that's gonna be attached to the. I think the window felts are gonna be attached to the door panels. But all right, power window switches. Jump up to here. Um, we got window run channels. Window trim. Um, what's up, Olivia? How you doing today? This phone's messing up on me, so it's kind of hard to. I gotta jump back and forth. For some reason this one's lagging. I'm trying to reset it to have it go back up. Um, Let's see. Window trim. Yeah, grill. Okay, we got to rebuild the grill. So, like, I put the trim, the bezels on the front of it, and they were like sticking out that far. So that means the grill's got to be completely. I got to pull the grill completely apart. Got to pull it out and then re-rivet it. But the problem is, there's no room to re-rivet it. There's not. I don't have that kind of expansion. So I don't. I don't know what to do. So I just did the smart thing. I went out, bought a stock grill that was in really nice shape. Now I gotta sand it out, gotta have the anodizing stripped off of it, and then it's gotta get polished. Couple little nicks and dings and dents in it, that's all gotta get done too and refixed. So I mean, it is what it is. So we got grill, rebuild, headlights, um, got wiring, headlight wiring, engine wiring for power, um, fuel system, wiring. Got to plumb the fuel system. Uh, taillights. Got to get the taillight wiring done. Oh, that's right. Libya's been working on the MR2. I actually can't wait to see those cars. Those are actually kind of cool cars. Let's see. Finish. We got AC. AC. We got to finish the controls. Wiring. Lots of wiring got to get done. I got to finish the glove box. Got it up, run all the vent work. Got to charge it. What else? Tail lights. Got dash lights. Interior lights. What else do we got? Got interior lights. Probably should put the stereo system down. What'd you have surgery on, Olivia? I've been not in and out a lot of the chats lately, so I haven't been able to really kind of heard what's going on. Just got door lights, well, interior lights. um, stuff like that. Oh, really? Well, that's a pretty major surgery. How long did they keep you in the hospital? Uh, what was that? Dash lights, dome lights, stereo wiring. Really, I really want to talk to you on that stereo system there, Clayton. Or sorry, Lotus. Window switches are on there. Window wiring's on there. Got to get sound deadening. Carpet. Seats. Door panels. Package tray. What else do we need? Package tray. Ooh. Oh, well, that's not nice. Okay. I actually have to get, and I better put this in red. I need to get front seat relocators, rear seat clamps, or well, mounting brackets, and vent glass hinges. What else do we need to do? I started somewhat of a list here. Lower windshield molding for the front, that's got to get put on. Install front and back. Uh, Front and rear windshield molding clips. Gotta put those in because if those don't go in first, we can't really do that. Well, here's the thing though. Yeah, it's kind of like a ticked off chihuahua because all she's going to be able to do is jump up and bite your ankles. You know? She's going to argue at you like, looking up like this. That's how she's going to do it. uh, got to adjust trunk lid. after I repaint it. I'm gonna put that one in red. 'Cause that's gotta get done kind of quick. Yeah, I scratched the heck out of that lid. Repaint the deck lid. Sucks. And I might have to do actually from like the doors back, I might have to repaint the black. I gotta have Daryl look at that to make sure that that's what I think we're gonna have to do. Her power is down. uh, have Daryl. Have Daryl inspect the paint. Ow, ow. Phantom pain. Got to paint the hood scoops. Paint the hood scoops flat black. Definitely one that's got to get done. Got to make new hood scoop mounts and gaskets. I'm going to make gaskets to set the hood scoops on because they sit above the hood, not in it. I don't want to really scratch the bottom of it real bad. Uh, I never got to the overside. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Should check all gaps. Uh, adjust hood, latch. Uh, I got to make notches. Um, Got to clean all the trim. We had a lot of people in here a while ago. Whoa, whoa, hold on. Ain't nobody sleeping with my leg. No, I'm actually gonna flat black the hood scoops. I think if I paint them blue, it's gonna look more like, like a high school kid type thing. Um, no, nope, can't paint them that blue. I think I thought about it, but the more I think about it, I just don't think it's the right way to really go. You know what I mean? I really don't think it's the right way to go. I was thinking, oh, I gotta clean the trim. Clean, clean the glue. Clean the glue off the side trim. Install rest of moldings. Another red one. I gotta get locks. I gotta get those quickly. What the heck else? Gotta finish installing. Ah, see? More I'm thinking. Uh, Fuel tank filler neck. Filler neck grommet. Guys, the list is getting kind of long. We're gonna count how many things I got left to do, and then we're gonna realize I've only got a small amount of time to get this stuff done. Uh, what else? What else? What else? What else? Exhaust. I've been looking into Carnage mufflers for the exhaust system. I think that might be the way to go. I really like the sound of them. I think it's just, I don't know. Something's telling me I need to go with those guys for the mufflers. Carnage mufflers. That's what we're gonna do. Big body twos. Sorry, we're gonna go with big body twos. B be to uh oh, we got a problem with the front bumper. Front bumper is not sitting quite centered. It's got to get shifted over just a little bit. Jonathan, what's up? Uh, whoa, what's wrong with your truck? What kind of truck you got? We'll try to fix it. May not be able to fix it personally. Might be able to help you walk through it. We're all here to help, right? Got a couple of good mechanics on here. Can you think of anything, Andy? I think we got about everything written down. Fuse block. Oh, oh, I know another one. I got to get. There's a steering column uh, paint. Need a steering column bezel from eBay for I did it columns. There's a guy out there that's 3D printing really nice steering columns. It's a bezel that goes up. It's really nice. I wish I had a way to get Lotus to do it for me. Oh, you know a guy that makes the Carnage mufflers? Definitely. Because I do it, I tell you, they sound freaking awesome. No, it doesn't run yet. We're trying to get close. So we're going to start wiring. Once we get done with the wiring, or, well, while Chuck is working on the wiring, I'm going to start working on getting all the little things, the fuel system finished. Like the lines are there. I just got to finish hooking them up, making ends. A little bit of wiring on the engine. I got to make the header extensions, get the O2 sensor on, and then we should be able to fire it up and at least hear it run. That's the plan. Um, yeah, I really like the sound of the big body twos. Um, I think those are made in like North Carolina or South Carolina or something like that. It's like some guy with his muffler shop. That's what he does, you know. Um, it's pretty cool actually. Just some guy making them. Found a good way of doing things and seems to work. Oh, I need to figure out when I open these doors, and I think it's more along because of the way the latch hits the bottom. When you open the doors, there's a popping sound. Now, the hinges were rebuilt and everything else, so I know it's not that. But on newer cars, they got like a little Delran uh, roller on the bottom. I think if I do something like that, it'll actually work out pretty good. No car napping cars. See, it's a good thing. Well, I don't know. You're in a wheelchair. You could probably get up here pretty quick. A little engine to it. At least I think one time you're in a wheelchair. Maybe I'm confusing you with somebody else. But anyway, what I'm getting at is it would take you forever to get up here with your little legs going about that fast. My stride is 3 of yours. It's kind of like my wife. You ever seen them little wind up ducks when they walk? That's kind of what it looks like. Real short little steps. Well, congratulations for being out of it. I thought you were in one at one point in time. But like I said, we still got the whole, leg thing. I know I got a leg thing, but my leg can get there before I get there. It depends on how hard I throw it. Right? Depending on how hard I throw it. It's all that matters. Yeah, that's all I can think of, guys. I think we got it all on there. Um, I think that now I get to sit there and go through the list. Let's count. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. Yeah, I can count past 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 87 so far. And I'm sure it's double that. I can almost guarantee it's double that. Did the Randys ever get on there? Um, Neon Underglow. I thought about doing Neon Underglow, but you know what I really want to do? Might sound a little cheesy. You know when you open the door and some of those little gizmos, they got the little emblem that shows up on the bottom? I was thinking about getting a custom set of those to where you open the door of the car and you have the Pandora logo shining on the ground. I think that'd be kind of neat. Um, I think it'd be fun to do, to be honest with you. Um, you know what I mean? Phone. I'm starting to get better with the iPhone. See, we're close. It still looks the same. Oh, I gotta put that on there. I gotta put something else on there. Yep. See, you made me miss it. It's all somebody else's fault. It's not mine. Go back to Back to the engine. Let's see, throttle cable. Gonna need a throttle cable. Let's see, ITB linkage bracket. See, this is why we're going over the car right now. This is exactly why we're going over the car right now. Belts on, headers on. Each got brakes. That's on. Oh, we need spark plugs. We need to do. Can't start a car without spark plugs. Spark plugs. We're going to put that in red because I got to buy it. Mm-hmm. Come on. All right, spark plugs. Make plug wires. Mount coils. Wire coils. 88, 89, 91, 2, 3. 93. Mount coil wires. Okay. I'm thinking about doing the blue underglow. I really am. I might do it, but the problem is I might crush them when I set the car down. What else can I see? Steering's done. Headers. All my gaskets are on. I think. I can't remember. Did I put header gaskets on? Yeah. So I do have header gaskets on it. Got to get a screen for a throttle body for a velocity stack. So that'll go in red because it's got to be bought. Let's see what else. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? Got a charger system. That's kind of self-explanatory. Gonna need an alignment. Gonna need a tune. Boy, I just cannot. I need a battery. Got the battery. We just gotta mount it. See what I mean by the side moldings? They are a pain in the butt to get on. I'm not exactly sure how they go on. I think it's close. But we will find out. They kind of kick way out to the side, kind of making me nervous. But, there's the carpet. Just kind of laying in there, trying to maybe let it relax a little bit, kind of fall out. I'm going to have to get a steamer and steam it. All that happy stuff. Anyway, so, you know. Alright, well, not 100% what. I think we got it all. I don't know if we need to keep it going. Not our, I don't know. Maybe we go check out Randy's channel real quick, huh? How about that? Let's see. Let's go up here. Let's go back. Let's go to Never Done. Ah. Oh. Okay, guys. Let's check out the Randys. Can we hear them? Anyway. It's a stream and a stream. Kind of like what was that one horrible movie? I can't remember the name of it. Inception. I don't know. Oh, they're gonna be doing their happy little dance. I mean, it's a good way to close out your thing. Guys, check out Never Done Projects if you're on here. These guys really are pretty good. Some good buddies of mine. Anyway, come on. Phone really clamps in there. Turn this down. Pop over real quick. Anyway, guys, so I think I ended up with like 100 and I think we're done with the list. I think we're done with the list. I know Daryl's got a thing starting here. Chuck never showed up to help with the wiring, so yeah, that went about as planned. Um, I'm sure there's a reason why he couldn't do it. Uh, the guy does have a farm, and it's close to farming season, so and he does run his own shop, so I'm sure that's got a lot to do with it too. Um, yes, I got to know. I got 32-inch spinners and an 8-inch lift kit, and I'm going to sag the back end. So I'm going to put the Carolina squat on a classic car. That's how we're going to do that one. We're going to squat a classic car. I think that'd be cool to do. You think I'd get hate mail for that one? Possibly. All right. Well, thanks for hanging, Lotus. Anybody else that might be on here. 24 likes today. That's actually pretty good for my channel. Seeing how I don't really get that kind of likes. I'm not complaining. I think it's pretty good. So, um, I, oh no. Yeah, he could do a durability test on it, you know? I don't think there'd have to be a durability test done on it because I guarantee you, if I did that, there would be more people hating on me for putting a Carolina squat on a classic car. I may be disowned by the automotive community. Straight out. Never allowed to show my face into another car show again. Go to a racetrack, I get my butt kicked. You know what I mean? If I squatted. Oh, that would be absolutely horrid. I think it would be all kinds of bad news. All right. Well, killdozer food after that, right? All right, guys. I'm going to get going. Thanks for hanging. 135 minutes.